that they do not have to follow unlawful orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
The White House clarified that the president doesn't want to see lawmakers executed, but criticized the video.
They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
Actually, what they said is you can refuse an illegal order, which is in the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
But they're suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not.
Back on Capitol Hill, some Republican leaders have tried to downplay the president's response.
That was a wildly inappropriate thing for so-called leaders in Congress to do, to encourage young troops to disobey orders. I mean, think of what the threat that is to our national security and what it means to our institutions.
Others say it was inappropriate.
I don't think it's really a good idea to talk about jailing your political opponents or hanging them or whatever else.
I don't think the video was smart. I don't think the response to the video was smart. It was not right. And we got to lower the temperature.
The Senate Minority Leader called on Capitol Police to give extra protection to the lawmakers involved. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Here at home, a chain reaction crash in Halawa last night turned deadly. A 29-year-old woman died from her injuries following a crash involving 4 cars on the H3 near the Moanalua overpass. Police say at around 5:30 p.m. yesterday, the victim was struck from behind by a 58-year-old driver. She then struck the vehicle in front of her, which then crashed into another. The woman was in critical condition before dying at the hospital. HPD says speed, drugs, and alcohol do not appear to be factors. This is Oahu's 75th traffic fatality of the year, compared to 43 at the same time last year. The Honolulu City Council is on the verge of approving another settlement for a death during a police chase. Meantime, a new state law aims to prevent fatal crashes during pursuits, but Ben Gutierrez tells us police don't like it.
It's been nearly 5 years since 16-year-old I Remember Sycap was shot and killed after leading police on a chase in a stolen car.
I believe that the police officers were working to protect the public and within their scope and duties.
City Council Chair Tommy Waters voted yes, with reservations, to approve a settlement with Sycap's family in a case against the city. The settlement amount is still being finalized and needs to be approved by the full council. Attorney Eric Seitz represents the Sycap family.
We still have police officers chasing vehicles into dangerous places where innocent people get injured or killed, or occupants of the vehicles get killed for relatively insignificant misconduct that they're being pursued for.
A new state law aims to change that. Act 210 says a pursuit is only allowed if there's serious risk of harm to others or the suspect is connected to a felony. It would also require body-worn cameras to be activated.
Communications are all recorded. The officers are instructed to use their vest cameras as well, so that we have a record of what took place. And we have that record in the Sycap case.
HPD says it already has a pursuit policy and said in a statement that there are circumstances when an appropriate law enforcement response may necessitate a pursuit in order to protect the public. Retired HPD Deputy Chief John McCarthy also says a statewide law isn't needed.
Once you start legislating police actions like this, you start handcuffing the police officers. They've got to make decisions in a timely manner.
The Police Officers Union also blasted the new law, calling it a harsh 1-2 punch of feeling we're being punished and abandoned in a dangerous job that someone just made twice as hard.
Stop the vehicle!
Since Sycap's death, there have been other police pursuits, including an island-wide manhunt on New Year's Day in 2024 that ended in Manoa when Sidney Tafogitao was killed while exchanging gunfire with officers. Seitz says he understands that police often have to make quick decisions.
But they still have to go through a rational process of deciding what force to use, when to use force, and what is necessary that doesn't risk unnecessarily the lives of other people.
And that's Ben Gutierrez reporting. HPD arrested a man for attempted murder after a stabbing in Kalihi. This happened just before 2:30 Thursday afternoon in front of the Punavai rest stop on Moiliili Street. Police say a witness followed the 38-year-old suspect as he left the scene, and officers quickly detained him. The victim, a 53-year-old man, was hospitalized. It's unclear what condition he's in at this time. And police arrested a 30-year-old man accused of setting a brush fire that caused $5,000 in damage to agricultural property in Kunia yesterday. He was booked for second-degree arson and contempt of court. HPD says there were actually 2 fires along Kunia Road within about an hour Thursday morning. They burned more than 21 acres. A judge refused to set bail yesterday for a man accused of beating a stranger to death in Waikiki. Ishmael Luavasa pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder and was ordered to stand trial in January. He allegedly attacked 50-year-old Christian Coronel outside the Waikiki beachside hostel on November 8th. Police say the attack was unprovoked. Coronel, a father of 3, was temporarily living on Oahu for work.
After the complaining witness was on the ground, it's alleged that he continued beating him until he lay motionless and then walked away. This was a brutal assault, unprovoked, which indicates to the court that the defendant is a significant danger to any other person in the community and a flight risk.
Coronel's family is now raising money to bring his body back to Washington State. We've posted a link for their GoFundMe at hawaiinewsnow.com. And also in court yesterday, Clarence Luke pleaded not guilty to murdering his friend Jonovan Manalim 2 weeks ago. Investigators say the 42-year-old may have been helping Manalim collect gambling debts. The men were seen arguing on November 5th in Pearl City before gunshots rang out. Manalim's body was found 2 days later in Waipio. Luke is being held without bail. His trial is set for January. Only on Hawaii News Now, immigrants to Kauai are sent back to their home country. The people you're about to see were rounded up 2 weeks ago with dozens of others. Daryl Huff says none of those deported yesterday had criminal records, but most are leaving without a fight.
They shuffled into court shackled at wrists and ankles. They've been in the federal detention center since being flown from Kauai on November 5th. The owner of the cleaning company that employed them hired immigration specialist Gary Singh.
So it was completely legal for their employer to hire them?
Totally correct. And that's the reason why the employer had asked me to come out here today to make sure their rights are protected.
The judge asked each man a series of questions to determine if they had grounds to stay, but 5 of the 6 said they didn't want a lawyer and would not fight deportation.
The judge was very detailed. He went through all the elements, and some of them had asylum application, and he even asked them, do you want me to look at your application? And they just want to go home.
A couple of them admitted sneaking into the country in 2023, but others asked for asylum at the border last year. Their home country was in so much political and economic turmoil, the Biden administration granted Venezuelans temporary legal status, which President Trump terminated.
The day the order was canceled by the Trump administration, they went back to illegal status. And if you're here illegal, you'll get deported.
The judge asked if they were afraid to return to Venezuela, and they said no.
I don't believe that. Again, that's what they indicated.
So you think that they're actually in some danger going back to Venezuela?
I really believe so, based on what we read in the media.
At the time of the 44 arrests, Homeland Security said 4 of the detainees were suspected associates of the criminal organization Tren de Aragua, and previously had said immigration enforcement was focused on immigrants who committed crimes. They have offered no information about the detainees since. The men removed today were not charged with crimes.
None of them have criminal history. They've been sitting in jail for 3 weeks now. All they want to do is go home.
The judge granted an appeal hearing in December to one detainee named Roberto, who hastily signed Singh's representation agreement. The others are expected to be flown home next week.
There were 2 supporters of the men in the courtroom from Kauai. One was one of their managers. She wept quietly as 5 of her former co-workers were ordered removed. Reporting from the federal building, Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Daryl. Residents at a senior housing complex in Moiliili say they were blindsided by a huge rent increase. At Artesian Vista, tenants got the notices on Halloween, giving them until December 1st to decide whether to stay or move out before the new rates kick in on January 1st. Karen Dickey-Goli is on Section 8 and, like many residents, living on a fixed income. She expected a small increase, but her notice showed a big jump.
I figured it would be $50, $100, like normal. But when I saw it was $800, I said, oh. I found out that everyone that's on Section 8 got the large increase, but only the people not on Section 8 got the $100.
EAH Housing manages the property. We reached out for comment and have not heard back at this time. Well, let's take you live to the Big Island for a look at Kilauea. We've been watching these cams this morning, and there have been overflows of lava back and forth from the vents in Halema'uma'u crater. USGS says this kind of overflow activity will continue ahead of episode 37, which models suggest will likely start sometime between November 23rd and the 25th.
And since we've been watching some of the lava overflowing from Halema'uma'u crater, we have been tracking the VOG forecast very closely. Again, this is the VOG forecast from UH Manoa, and it's only going to be on air here at Hawaii News Now. You can see going forward some light VOGs still hanging around the western part of Hawaii Island, also creeping up towards parts of Maui County, but staying away from Oahu and Kauai as we're going into early Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. If we do see an eruption, lighter winds are expected out there throughout Saturday and Sunday, which might allow some of the VOG to creep up towards the rest of the state. Somewhat breezy trade winds out there right now, lighter winds this weekend, and drier weather. I'll break it all down coming up.
Hawaiian is going to remain Hawaiian.
Ahead on This Is Now, lingering turbulence after the merger of Hawaii's largest airline, how the carrier is trying to win over customers. Plus, with 31 million Americans expected to fly this Thanksgiving holiday, are airports and airlines ready to handle this record-breaking surge in travelers? Hawaiian and Alaska Airlines executives are working to restore trust with customers amid fears the merger is hurting Hawaiian Air's identity. As Alaska works to merge the two airline systems, frustrated customers are reporting technical issues with booking seat selection, check-in, and the rewards programs. There was also backlash after the HA call sign was retired last month, leading to speculation of more changes to Hawaiian Airlines' branding. Executives were quick to extinguish the rumors and asked for the public's patience.
We know that there's some confusion of, when you check in, how you're booking with different, can I see seats or not? We understand, and we're fixing what we can fix. But some of the advice that we have, just for those that are flying from now until we fix those problems, really read everything that's sent to you.
The issues prompted Hawaiian's new CEO to reassure customers in an email this week with a link to a new survey asking for customer feedback. Meanwhile, a historic holiday travel rush is upon us. A record 82 million Americans are expected to travel for Thanksgiving, and all of them are hoping severe weather and airport issues don't get in the way. Maggie Vespa has more.
Hey there from O'Hare. Busy as expected on this kind of kickoff day to the Thanksgiving travel rush. But so far, things appear to be moving along smoothly, both here and relatively so nationwide. We're seeing delays and cancellation numbers nationwide remaining relatively low. So that's good news. This with, of course, all eyes on America's airports for the next week or more as a historic number of Americans head out for the holiday.
The record Thanksgiving rush is on, with 82 million Americans set to travel, many hungry for a holiday feast with loved ones.
I'm going to go visit my brother in Tennessee. Yeah, I haven't seen my aunt in over 5 years.
31 million passengers set to fly this week. That surge already hitting a snag, with severe storms and flash flooding overnight wreaking havoc in Texas, rain forcing evacuations and cancellations stacking up.
Made it.
More rain farther west, with millions under flood alerts, water rising in parts of California near Los Angeles. More storms are slated for next week, with possible snow set to slam millions farther east. All of it on the heels of the government shutdown that led to widespread flight delays and cancellations, but some good news for travelers. This morning, United, American, Delta, and Southwest Airlines all tell NBC News they're confident they can handle the holiday rush. Same goes for airports nationwide. Officials asking the public to do their part.
And our message is simple: plan ahead and allow extra time.
Advice echoed by industry analysts who say passengers should download their airline's apps, consider rerouting connections around severe weather, and keep a change of clothes just in case.
Tempers may be short, so leave extra time for any hiccups to happen.
Most travelers are expected to hit the roads, with at least 73 million people driving to their Thanksgiving destinations. Best advice for weathering the holiday rush?
Pack your patience. And just be nice.
Yeah, that's good advice. Back to those lasting ripple effects from the government shutdown. The Trump administration this morning officially announcing those $10,000 bonuses for, they say, nearly 800 air traffic controllers and technicians who worked through the shutdown. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy calling them patriotic men and women who, quote, never missed a beat and kept the flying public safe. Back to you.
And stick around. Coming up after the break, we've got your full First Alert forecast. Lighter trades are expected this weekend, plus some more sunshine. The details all coming up.
Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Well, look at the time, everybody. It is Aloha Friday. We've made it to the weekend. Here's what we're tracking in our first alert weather forecast. Ashley, thank you for that laugh. Let's take a look at what we've got going on. We've got lighter trade winds out there this weekend, plus some more sunshine. We're also tracking a front as we're going into next week. Let's just break down your island by island forecast for your Saturday. Over on Kauai, you're going to see some isolated showers, mostly sunny conditions, a better chance for windward sprinkles out there, but a lot more sunshine this weekend. We're going to be seeing some dry air move in at the mid to upper levels. Mostly sunny over Oahu, and also Maui County seeing mostly sunny and breezy conditions as well. 81 for a high temp over in Kaunakakai tomorrow, 86 in Kahului, 84 over in Kihei tomorrow. The Kailua Kona side of Hawaii Island will be mostly sunny out there. Light winds, 84 degrees for high temperature in Kona. And then spinning around to the Hilo side, seeing a few showers and sprinkles over in the Puna district, also near Hilo. Mostly sunny over the eastern portions of Hawaii Island. Otherwise, the northern portions of the Big Island will see light and variable winds, a few sprinkles up near Waimea. So let's just break down our first alert futurecast going forward. You're going to notice not as much cloud cover as we're going into Saturday and Sunday. That dry air is going to be moving in from the north and west, giving us a better chance for some sunshine out there. You can see going into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we see more cloud cover out there. Maybe some clouds sticking around for your Saturday. We also have some clouds out there right now on our first alert radar and satellite. Let's take this island by island. A few sprinkles out near Kailua Kona this afternoon. Also a few showers over in the Puna district of Hawaii Island. And then also Maui County, relatively quiet, not seeing a ton of rainfall across the rest of the state. Oahu seeing some clouds moving in over the eastern part of the island. And here's your surf and shoreline forecast. You can see going forward for this afternoon, north and west facing shores are on the decline out there. 6 to 8 feet out there on north facing shores, south facing shores around 1 to 3, east facing shores right around 4 to 6. And let's break down your 7-day forecast. Mahalo to Andy for sending in this awesome background photo. Friday, today, a few showers out there, mostly over windward areas. Saturday and Sunday, more sunshine. Maybe partly cloudy in some spots for Saturday and more sunshine going into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We're tracking another front that could be moving in before Thanksgiving Day. All right, time for some good news now. A Waimanalo ranch that's been serving its community for years is opening its gates and its heart. Casey Lund met with the folks behind Nalo Keiki Paniolo.
Yeah, good afternoon and happy Aloha Friday. I want to introduce my dear friend Gina from DLT Ranch here in beautiful Waimanalo. tell us where we are. We're here in the arena, right?
We are here in the arena, set in God's country with Kauai right behind us, blessed as ever.
Beautiful day we've had here, and things are going to kick off around 3 p.m. Tell me about the Keiki Paniolo event that's happening just a little bit later this afternoon.
We have our Paniolo Play Day happening today from 3 to 6. So we invite everybody and their families out for a nice ranch experience. We open the whole ranch to the public, and we offer pony rides, train rides in case the Keiki don't want to ride horses for some reason. We also offer shaved ice popcorn and some good vibes.
Going to be a good time, good vibes. You know, this only happens once a month, every third Friday of the month. Shout out to Danette for kind of cultivating what happens here. And I want to talk about that. You know, we've been having a lot of fun. By the way, we had Everly and Haven, the girls that were out here. They went on the pony rides. We did the petting zoo. Shout out to the parents for getting them up early this morning and hanging out with us. But, you know, just seeing their eyes light up, seeing the interactions with the ponies and the animals, it's something that, you know, I think sometimes a lot of kids, especially if they grew up in a place where they didn't have that interaction, they can really benefit from, right?
Correct, yes. It's something that humanity's kind of lost sight of in times, but it's okay because that gives us the opportunity to give that opportunity to everybody else.
And educate and share them in such a beautiful setting. So, okay, last thing, 3 to 6 today, this Aloha Friday, and then remind me what people should know about getting out here, because we're off the beaten path, as it should be. We're here on the ranch. And what should folks know if they want to come this afternoon?
It's just important for everybody to know that the front gate of our ranch that you guys are going to enter through is going to be closed, but it is labeled with a tarp that says Nalo Keiki on it. It says enter here with instructions of lifting the chain. So don't be off put by the closed gate. We are very much open, and you just have to lift the chain and push. But we have people kind of wander into the neighbor's yard, so I just want to be clear that this is where you find us.
Yes, absolutely. Gina, thank you so much for an awesome day.
Thank you so much.
You know, if you missed any of those details, you want to learn more about what happens out here at DLT Ranch in the beautiful Waimanalo, you can find all the information at hawaiiNewsNow.com. Aloha.
Aloha.
Howdy.
You never know what kind of outfit Casey's going to be in.
I know. Him on a horse. It was a good laugh. Howdy, everybody.
Thanks for watching This Is Now. More news first at 4 right here on KHNL.